I like that I get to interact with a lot of different people at my workplace.
It's your turn. Welcome to GIELTShelp.com's General IELTS Test Preparation videos. You will now see Yumi score an expert level Band 9 for her performance on the IELTS speaking interview. Part 1, she will answer questions about work and school. For Part 2, being on a team. And for Part 3, being on a team and leadership. You will also have a chance to answer these questions, and I will be your examiner in a karaoke-style practice interview. Now watch and learn. Welcome to the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. It has 3 parts. I will give you instructions for each, and I'm going to record this for marking purposes. What is your full name?
My full name is Yumiko Nakamura. Please just call me Yumi for short.
Okay, Yumi. May I see your identification?
Yes, of course. Here is my passport that I used to apply for the IELTS.
Thank you. Okay, there's your passport back. For part 1, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Do you work or study?
I am working in HR at Izumo Tech, and I'm also studying English and IELTS so I can continue my MBA in the United States.
What do you like about your work or school?
I like that I get to interact with a lot of different people at my workplace. I'm quite social, so this keeps life interesting.
Let's talk about working or studying at home. How often do you work at home?
Recently, I'm working at home all the time. I haven't been to my office in the past 6 months, even once, because of pandemic.
How often do you study at home?
I usually study at home about 3 to 4 days each week, but at times I like to go to the park near my house to study, especially when the weather is nice.
Do you like working or studying at home? Why or why not?
Yes, I quite like it because it is comfortable and convenient. I have privacy, and when I'm hungry, I can just go to my fridge and eat what I want. Yesterday, I made myself a really yummy chicken sandwich for lunch. This type of convenience is simply not possible at my workplace.
If you are not studying or working at home, where do you go?
Well, as I said, I like to go to the park to study and read my books. Aside from that, I would go to my office downtown to do my work.
What are difficulties of working or studying at home?
One of the biggest challenges are distractions. At times, friends will knock or will call unexpectedly, and at other times, I'm just itching to take a break and watch a show. Also, it is sometimes annoying that I cannot contact my colleagues as quickly as in the office to get assistance.
How has working from home changed in the past 30 years?
I think the biggest change over the past 3 decades has been the addition of the internet. The web has really made working from home much more efficient and possible. I can conduct interviews and attend a meeting through video chat from my home, and this was simply unavailable a generation ago.
If you could improve one part of working at home, what would it be?
That's an interesting question. Please allow me a moment to think. The first idea come to my mind is to have better equipment, a better computer with faster internet, and more comfortable chair. I think I could always improve on these if given a chance.
Now that you have seen Yumi do an excellent job in part 1, it's your turn. Let's begin. I will ask you the same questions. Use the subtitles as needed to give complete answers. But first, try on your own. Let's start. Welcome to the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian and I will be your examiner for this part of the test, and I'm recording this for clerical purposes. This is candidate number 7354321. Currently the time is 13 o'clock and the test is being conducted in Vancouver. What is your full name? May I see your identification, please? For part one, I will ask you some questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Do you work or study? What do you like about your work or school? Let's talk about working or studying at home. How often do you work at home? How often do you study at home? Do you like working or studying at home? If you are not studying or working at home, what do you do or where do you go? What are difficulties of working or studying at home? How has working from home changed in the past 30 years? If you could improve one part of working at home, what would it be? Just before we continue with part 2 of this interview and the rest of the lesson, I want to give you an excellent opportunity to quickly improve your IELTS band scores and your English communication. Simply visit our website and join up for our premium IELTS package. Use the discount code ISPEAK9 to get a 25% discount from our IELTS course. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. Now, back to the lesson. That is the end of part 1. Now we will continue with part 2. For part 2, there's a card in front of you. Don't turn that over yet, with some questions. Also some note paper and a pencil. You will have 1 minute to look at the questions on the card. Think about your answers. You can take notes in the 1 minute if you wish, and then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start, when to stop. Okay, Yumi, your 1 minute preparation time begins. Now go ahead, turn over the card. Yumi, your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
In my second year of university, I was on a debate team with 2 of my classmates, Yuki and Hiro. This was during my studies for my bachelor's in business administration in 2016 at Osaka University as part of my extracurricular studies. I decided to join the debate team to improve my communication skill as well as to learn the best way to convince others on my point of view. My position in the team had changed a couple times depending on the debate. I was either the first, second, or third proposition or opposition. I really liked being the third opposition as this gave me a chance to have the final word and close the debate. Throughout the school year, we participated in about a dozen different debate events based on different variety of topics, including ethics, politics, and business. Our goal was to win Osaka University Debate Championship at the end of the year. We collected points based on our victories and losses and had the final tournament. In the end, we were bronze medalist and third position out of 12 different teams. We are really happy with the result, but of course deep in our heart, we had wished we won gold. If I had a chance to go back and do it again, we would have done some activities outside the class so that we would have had more cohesion in the group. Anyway, I learned a lot and look back on this team experience positively.
Yumi, your time is up, so I will stop you there. Please put the note paper and the card to the side. Please turn them over. Also the pencil. And now we will continue with part 3. Since you have now seen Yumi complete the long part, the cue card, it's time for you to try the same. First, use the subtitles to build fluency and feel what it takes to get that band 9. Once you've done this, you can pause the video and try your own answer. Remember to take that 1 minute to prepare your thoughts and take some useful notes. Let's do this now. That is the end of part 1. Now for part 2, I will show you a card with some questions on it. You will have 1 minute to read the questions. Please do not touch the card. There is some note paper in front of you. You can take notes in the 1 minute if you wish. You have a pen. And then after the 1 minute, you will have 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start, when to stop. Talk about a time when you were part of a team in school or work. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking. Okay, your 2 minutes is up. I will stop you there. I'm going to take back the card. Please put the note paper to the side, turn it over. And now we will continue with part 3. For part 3, I will ask you a question related to your response and some questions connected to the topic of part 2. Do you still keep in touch with Hiro and Yuki?
Yes, I contact them a couple times in a year through social media, especially on Facebook. We don't get to hang out in person anymore as they move to other cities, but we do share our thoughts and recent life change, especially when there's some big news like Hiro landing his dream job working in HR last year in Kirin Company.
Let's talk about teamwork. Why is it important for children to learn about teamwork from a young age?
I think that our youth must be educated about working in groups as early as possible, even starting at age 1 or 2, because this is one of the most important skills to be happy and successful in life. Humans are social by nature, and it is the way we function. I see that every day in my HR work.
What can teachers and schools do to encourage learning teamwork?
Educators and the schools must implement lots of group activities in curriculum and motivate and encourage participation. These can include sport teams like basketball and soccer, or other activities like drama club.
How has technology been helping people to work more effectively in teams?
Especially in recent times, with internet and mobile phone, the technology has had the biggest influence on the efficiency of teamwork. Using social media and software like Skype, people can connect to each other to discuss projects just about anywhere and anytime. This relates back to me doing my HR work with my colleagues from the comfort of my home.
Is this always more efficient? Why or why not?
No, sometimes it's less efficient, such as when technology is not working, like no internet connection, or when emotional communication is important. It's difficult to imagine rehearsing for a play using social media and being effective.
Let's talk about leadership. What are important characteristics for leaders to be successful managing a team?
I think two of the most important skills for a leader are communication and confidence. It's really important for the team to be clear on expectation and tasks, and they must believe in their goals. These are achieved through confident leaders who convey their messages accurately.
Can you give some examples of this?
Yes, sure. When we organized our debate team, we appointed Yuki to be the captain because she was both confident and really good at communicating. I think that this is a big part of the reason we got the third place.
If there is a lack of leadership in a group, what may be the consequences?
If there is no leadership in the team, the results are usually quite negative. There can be much conflict in the group, and the projects may be done poorly, if at all.
How can this be overcome?
Well, it's really important to choose the right person to lead a group, and everyone must know their role. Also, it's important that they clearly set the value, mission, and the vision of the group, so they have guidelines for expectations.
What are some of the common difficulties that leaders often need to cope with?
I think there are unexpected challenges and conflicts among the members in the groups are the most frequent type of challenges the leader must be able to navigate well for successful projects.
Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Yes, I can. I mean that it's tough to predict certain situations, like when Hiro got really sick right before one of the biggest debates of the year, or when I got into an argument with him for missing some of our meetings. These are negative for the goal and must be managed. Luckily, Yuki did a good job.
That's the end of part 3. That concludes the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. You will have your mark online in a few days. You will have the certificate in about 2 weeks. Have a great rest of your day. Yumi, please remember to take your identification with you. Bye-bye. All right, you're doing great and you're in the home stretch. That's right, it's only part 3 and the interview is over. Remember, speak in full sentences, give answers, explanations, and examples. Let's begin the interview for part 3. Use the subtitles as needed. For part 3, I will ask you a question in regards to your response and some questions on the topic of part 2. Do you still keep in touch with your teammates? Let's talk about teamwork. Why is it important for children to learn about teamwork from a young age? What can teachers and schools do to encourage learning teamwork? How has technology been helping people to work more effectively in teams? Is this always more efficient? Let's talk about leadership. What are important characteristics for leaders to be successful managing a team? Can you give some examples of this? If there is a lack of leadership in a group, what may be the consequences? How can this be overcome? What are some of the common difficulties that leaders often need to cope with? Can you elaborate? That is the end of part 3. That concludes the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. You will have your mark online in a couple of days, and you will have your official certificate with the other sections in about 2 weeks' time in the mail. Have a great rest of your day, and remember your identification. So why does Yumiko get this perfect Band 9 score for her performance? Is her English perfect? Does she speak without an accent? No, there is no such a thing as perfect English. However, she does show an expert level of communication and an expert level of command of English vocabulary and grammar. In part 1, she starts very confident. She answers all of the questions clearly and accurately. She includes great explanations and examples for her answers. In part 2, Yumi continues to perform at a top-notch English level. She pays careful attention to all of the questions on the cue card, making sure to answer them in detail. Her ideas are connected and well structured. She gives an original response talking about being a member, a team player on a debate team. Notice how well she answers that last question with a conditional. She says, if I had a chance to go back, I would do more activities outside of school together so that we could build stronger bonds with our teammates. It's this kind of precise, clear communication that's needed for that perfect Band 9. For example, when she gives the answer, I'm working from home all the time. I haven't been to my office in the past 6 months even once. This is a very clear response. She gives a two-sided answer. First, she says that she's working from home all the time. Then she reflects the opposite angle of this answer by clearly, with numbers, stating that in the last half a year, she has not been to her office even one time. Notice that she's using the present perfect to reflect expectation within the question. It's this kind of control over grammatical range and accuracy and fluency that gets those Band 9 scores. Last but not least, Yumi's expert communication continues to the end of the interview right through part 3. She stays confident answering all of the questions. She does not hesitate to give complete answers, explanations, and examples. When she's asked for an example about leadership, she uses her part 2 response and explains that the reason they chose Yuki to be the leader of their debate team is because she possesses skills necessary for leadership, including confidence and communication. It's this type of cohesive communication where connections are made between part 3 and part 2 answers that can really guarantee and boost that score to the Band 9 perfect level. Make sure to practice these skills, watch these videos, use the subtitles, and improve your English. You too can master English communication. Good luck on your next exam. To get more training videos like this one, including over 100 hours of HD video lessons, a fully interactive course, and 6 original practice exams, visit and join our premium package at gieltshelp.com. Begin learning for success right now. Subscribe to our channel. Click over here. Watch another video? Click right up here. And join our premium package. Click on our hero to practice your speaking, get videos, exams, and an interactive course.